Rage of Aquarius with your hosts, Dan Smeriglio and Josh Bernstein.
And ladies and gentlemen around the world, we are live on the Voice of the People USA Radio and Television Network, coming to you everywhere. And a special shout out to the one and the only Hollis Mahaney Smeriglio, who happened to record that song many years ago, and I forgot to tell you about that. So welcome to the first episode of the Rage of Aquarius with myself and the one and the only Mr. Josh Bernstein, joining us here every week, Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern. And I'm going to say now, so we get out of the way, why the Rage of Aquarius? Because I was born January 31st, 1983, and we won't give the year, but Josh was born on February 3rd. Fourth. See, I was close. So we're both Aquariuses, and why the hell not? The play is great. But
wait. Let's add something to that. If you look at astrology and zodiacs and things like that, and some people don't like it, some people like it. My wife loves it. The most rebellious sign is the Aquarius.
Damn straight.
So let's get ready for some rage.
And it's appropriate. And we have a tagline too, people, but we're going to get to that. Don't you worry. So why are we here? Why are we together? So here's what it comes down to. Josh Bernstein is one of, and for those who've seen him on Politishock, for those who know, he's one of the very few people, maybe five in the entire movement, if you will, that I actually like and respect. He joined me on one Politishock episode. I joined him on one show, his show, Full Throttle Live, Thursday night on his Substack. I was with him before we did our Politishock, first time ever, and we just hit it off. We talked once maybe before we did the shows, and it was so cool because I knew he was somebody that he's one of the good ones. Why? One, because he may be a dick, but he's not a dick in the asshole way like the grifting douchebag that we see all over creation.
I'm a dick to the left.
Yes, you're an appropriate dick. But
that's right.
You also started long before it was cool to be, I'm a rebel. So he's been in this game for, what, 10, 11 years
13
now?
years plus.
13 years. There you go.
13th year.
13 years, and I'm showing my age because July 3rd, 2026, the day before America turns 250, VOP will be at 20 years on July 3rd. 20 years ago, I started this shit. Long before it was cool, getting banned by everybody. So it's appropriate that two OGs come together that take no prisoners, that are going to say things that are guaranteed to piss off all the right people and maybe some of the schmucks that you think are on your side but really aren't. So
there you go.
Fuck it. So Josh, with that, let's get into it. So now this is going to be kind of an impromptu throwdown of we're going to say whatever the hell we want to say about anything, but we're going to go over the events of the week, the events of what's happening today or whatever the hell the case may be, and give our no holds barred opinion. Right?
Let's do it.
All right. So where would you like to start? Because I have so many. I have so many things. So I'll let you pick the first topic of the week.
Well, we'll have to start with the ICE shooting, right? The justified ICE shooting. That's why I'm wearing my ICE immigration hat. Because if you look at that and you look at all the video and all the different angles, you can clearly see that she was the agitator. She was not just some, white woman that was dropping off her kids or picking up her kids. No, this was a radical extreme leftist who was agitating them all day long. The one video that just dropped yesterday literally shows her beeping her horn back and forth and dancing to the sound of her own horn. She's the only one on the video that is actually beeping the horn. The cops come up to her and they tell her to get out of the car. And you know who's really partially responsible for her death? Her carpet munching wife. Because the carpet muncher said, drive, baby, drive, right? Well, guess what? She did that into an officer, and then she got one in the skull. So look, as you said on my Full Throttle Thursday, when I asked you about this, your comments were, the only thing I'm upset about is the condolences that are coming out.
Damn straight. Everybody's like, oh, it's a tragedy. The fuck it is. One less fat fucking asshole in the world. Fuck her and her wonderful oh so caring fat, all right, she's not fat, she's an ugly dyke wife. And listen, I don't care, but in this instance, it's warranted. Who, let's face it, what's her face, Miss Good, oh, she's a mother of 3 children, but she has custody of 1 because the other ones were taken from her because said dyke girlfriend has a tendency to put her cigarettes out on her children, and they were taken from her. And let's not get into the whole criminal record of Miss Good, the less new angel. So, you know what?
Miss Ice Queen, as I call her.
Ice Queen. Not a tragedy at all. I'm happy she's dead, personally. I don't give a shit. You know what? Because like I said, one less asshole in the world. Fuck it. You know? Like, listen, you go and you... All right, I'm going to say this in the interest of full disclosure, and I'm using a USB mic tonight, everybody, for the people listening all over the world. It's a little bit different. So, the ICE agent... That dude did the right thing. I support him. God bless him. I love him. In the future, stop getting in front of vehicles. This poor bastard is the one that got hit by a car in June and almost died. So what do you, but it does, even if that hadn't been the case.
In Somalia, I might add. It was in the same town.
Of course. Imagine that, right? The place infested with, anyway, we'll get to that. But, you know, sincerely, the bullet hole through the front of the windshield, how do you think that happened? All right. And when she purposely drives forward, you're going, as a former cop, you're going to die. Whether it's a municipal cop, whether it's a sheriff, whether it's a federal agent, you're going to die. One, she's impeding a actual, not a crime scene, but an active law enforcement investigation.
Right, exactly.
Right? So that right there gets you arrested on a good day, but if you fuck around, you die. Bottom line.
Yeah, so, and here's the other part of this. If you look in the video, you can see that her foot is absolutely, without a doubt, on the brake pedal. How do you know? Yes. Because it's lit up. Yes. And then you see when she guns it, it's off, right? Yeah. The light goes off. That's how you know she jumped on the gas. So again, this is, you know, play stupid games. You're going to win stupid prizes. And in this case, a deadly one.
I look at it like this, and I've been sharing videos all over my X. I mean, to the 10 people that see it, because I'm still shadow banned to hell, but I'm enjoying the living hell out of all the videos I'm seeing of all these people fucking around with ICE and getting thrown down. I don't give a shit. People, oh, you like that Gestapo tactics, whatever. I say it's about damn time. These people want to do dumb shit. They're going to get what they deserve. And as far as I'm concerned, it's culling the herd, okay? People have been pussified for too damn long. You see some other cops, like what, in Philadelphia, sitting there crying, feeling bad for the poor illegal aliens. Listen, I say this. Fuck every illegal alien and their anchor baby, pick the baby up, throw it across the border, ship it back, whatever the fuck, with the parents, okay? I want them all gone, every last one of them. And for those who think it's okay to hit or even throw a snowball, yes, at a cop, that is actually constitutes as assault on a police officer. So you get blasted in the face with pepper, you get blasted in the face with tear gas, or you get thrown down and cuffed, good. It's about damn time. Because Josh, it goes back to Reagan back in what, the 60s or 70s? I think it was 70s in California and Berkeley. You know, when the National Guard came and they actually had to use live fire and they killed one of the protesters, the agitators, the rioters.
But that would have been during his presidency, right? It would have been in the beginning of his presidency.
I think he was actually governor then. It was when he was governor.
Was he governor then?
Okay. Yes. So, and when that happened, good. You know what happened? They stopped. And now they're going to keep going. Let them find out more. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, I think the bottom line is we need a moratorium on all immigration. I mean, legal immigration. I want no immigration in this country for at least 20 years, just so that we can get out of the situation that we're in by getting rid of all of these illegal aliens that have been brought into the country by the auto pen. So again, you know, there's so many of them out there, and there's so much crime, there's so much corruption, and we're paying for it. We are literally paying for our own demise. And more importantly, we're sending money to terrorist organizations like Al-Shabaab that want to kill us. So here we are as taxpayers. Every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year, we are paying our taxes, and we are paying our taxes to people that are funding our own demise. Yes. That shit needs to end.
Fuck yeah. When I started VOP, I started in 2006, and I started by protesting illegal immigration. At that time, the media was saying 11 million illegals in the country, and I was saying it's about 30 million. 2006 in Hazleton, Pennsylvania, with Lou Barletta doing the Immigration Relief Act, right? To find businesses and landlords that hire and rent to illegal aliens, make English the official language, and prosecute. I said then, you're not going far enough. All right. So the real number of illegals in this country is probably closer to about 50 million.
53 and a half to
Yes.
54 million by now.
Yes. I want I don't care about dreamers or any of that bullshit. No. As far
It's
as
not a dream, it's a fucking nightmare.
it's a nightmare
Get
for
them
all
out.
of us. Exactly. Because what do we get? What do we get? You see this bullshit with these Somali education things, and it's good that people realize, because I've said for a long time, yeah, we have a Mexican problem and a South American problem coming to America. Of course, that's been the case forever. But I've always said we have so many more illegals in this country from other countries that nobody talks about. And
Exactly.
in Somalia, I guess maybe they want to bring.
It becomes a math equation, right? Value over cost.
Yeah.
What value are you bringing when you come here? Absolutely none. Okay. You are absolutely destroying the country. You're taking from the country. You're taking our resources. You're making us less affordable. You're taking our homes. You're taking our housing. You're stealing our taxpayer dollars. So what value are you bringing? Nothing. You are costing us. Therefore, when value is lower than cost, you can't be here. It's as simple as that.
But what about the great culinary, additions that the Somalis have brought to America? A rock in a bowl with water, rock soup.
Oh yeah, beetle shit on a plate. Yeah, lovely.
Yes.
Yeah, I was hoping that this Jacob Frey was going to choke on it. That's what I was hoping for, right on camera. Would have loved to seen the fucker just keel right on over.
What a little
Would have been great.
That little piece of shit. I swear to God, I hope he gets beat. I really do. And I don't care. Oh, you're advocating violence. No, I'm advocating karma, bitch. You know what? Or
Exactly.
better
He's
yet,
a fucking idiot.
He's a scum bitch. Remember back in the day when Minneapolis, when the St. George Floyd happened, and they got rid of the cops and they were going to put.
You mean fentanyl Floyd that died from a fentanyl overdose and not a knee on the neck? Yes, I do remember it.
The hero. He's a great guy. Stop that. How dare you? He's a savior to all women.
If you see the video, let me touch on this because I covered this back then. The video of what everybody saw was the results at the end. So basically you see Chauvin with his knee near his neck and holding him down, right? And saying, I can't breathe. But what you don't see, because they didn't record it because it doesn't fit the narrative, is what happened beforehand. Yep. When he was literally yelling and screaming, I can't breathe 10 times. He was put into the back of the police car. They turned the air conditioning on for him. He said he had COVID. He said that his mother died. He said all these different things. And then you know what else? He actually asked to be put on the ground. He asked to be put on the ground 4 or 5 times. So the police, as he was trying to kick out the back windows of the police cruiser and bust through the windows, grabbed him out and put him on the ground. In other words, gave him his wish to be put on the ground. And then they held him down. And that's when the video rolled. And all these left-wing scumbags with their fucking nose rings and their purple hair, they see that and they're taking video, and it's almost like the same thing. It's like they're so stupid and blind that they can't see the truth. And then they see this woman try to barrel over it with a 4,000-pound vehicle into a police officer that's already been hit once before. And it was probably trigger happy because he was like, fuck this, I'm not getting this done to me again. And so he shoots her, as he rightfully should. But again, they won't recognize or admit the truth that these people are the violent ones and we're not.
No, it's honestly, I will never shed a tear for any of them. George Floyd. Again, the whole thing I said then too, we have to cry and say it was a tragedy. The fuck it was a tragedy.
Renee Bad and Fentanyl Floyd are about as consequential as a queef in a gangbang.
Yes. Yes. I love it. It's so true. I mean, like a fly on one of the many shits of what's fucked up in the world. I mean, honestly, nobody will miss them. And even these little friggin' heroes in the left with their pre-populated signs and all their bullshit, and
they're paid for signs
that
were done at print shops, not handwritten in their garage before they went out there like it would be organic, right? No, of course not.
God forbid.
They're all paid for. Now you got the Somali sewer rats running ads on Craigslist looking for fake children actors to put into the daycare centers. I mean, these people are just disgusting.
It's sick, man. And I gotta ask. I mean, this always poses a question with the mostly fat liberal white women that are out there. What the fuck is with it? It's like a sign, like you get like gang ink or whatever, or like a teardrop when you murder somebody, right? That at least that one was like, hey,
Oh, it's the
fucking,
nose ring.
what is this bullshit? Like,
It
like
is
you
the
have,
nose ring.
what
They
is
they
that?
literally should have chains on them, and we
Yes.
should be able to pull them by their nose ring
Yes.
right out. Come on,
Yes.
let's go. You're going to jail. Pull them right out by that fucking thing.
My God. I mean, it's the perfect storm though, because in America we have them screaming feminism by wearing their hijabs, but in Iran we have women being shot in the head for taking off their hijabs. So the duality is fantastic. So so to close out that segment of the ICE shooting, God bless ICE, and may that bitch rot in whatever hell. I hope she believes in it now. And fuck her dyke girlfriend. I hope she gets hers too, because she's a piece of shit in the world. You know, we're not good with her in it either. Of course, I wish her nothing but peace and love and happiness and a long life. And fuck the rest of them. That's it. Okay, so let's jump to, if you don't mind, I want to jump to Iran. All right.
Yes.
I honestly, I love what I'm seeing there. And they had a report. I don't know if it's verified or not. I believe it is, but one of the higher ups in the regime was killed in his house by the protesters, and they got in and he was opening fire and they killed him. If it is the case, and it is, and I hope it is, good. People forget the videos. Videos exist, okay? Iran, Tehran, notably, used to be like Manhattan in the 1970s. Okay, there was freedom. There was people living their lives. There were Christians. There were Muslims. It was a melting pot of happiness and love. And then these radical fucking pieces of shit come in. Of course, the CIA, helped make that a reality too. But I digress. We have had these fuckers raising hell forever, and people are crying. I love the self-serving, rhino scum. We can't be about regime change. And of course, Israel set the whole thing up. Got to throw your daily Jew thing in there. The Jews, the Jews, the Jews. So we defend Maduro. We want no kings, but we defend Maduro. Feminism is wearing a hijab, but fuck the ones who take off the hijab. The people of Iran are calling for Israel and America to help liberate them and get their backs, but obviously it's an act of the CIA and the Jews doing what they're doing right now, and the Iranian government are good people, and they should be loved and appreciated and just dealt with. Honestly, my question to you, do you think this is the time that it's going to finally topple?
I do, actually, because we finally have a president that is going to back up the people of Iran. Look, it's not the people of Iran that we have a problem with. It is the 200,000 or so mullahs, clerics, and the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, and of course the goat fucking Ayatollah himself, right? These are the ones that we have an issue with. But I think this time it does seem different, because look, when people get so desperate where they have literally nothing to fear other than death itself. I mean, you saw that beautiful, brave young gal smoking a cigarette and then lighting up the Ayatollah and then putting it on the ground and giving it the middle finger. That is the attitude since 1979 that these people have wanted to do and couldn't do. Now, there's been other uprisings in the past for different reasons, but we've never had a situation where the government has said in Persian, in their language, so that they understand that keep going, keep it going. We're there for you. We're going to support you. Now, I have heard that the death toll is close to almost to 500 already. It's like 476 or something like that, last I checked. But I think this is going to be different because, look, I've said this before, if Iran falls, then the CCP is in big, big trouble, because the CCP, those frog-faced fucks in China, they actually get 87% of their oil from Iran. Iran is the third biggest petroleum reserve, crude oil reserve in the entire world. Saudi Arabia is number 2, and now the United States is number 1 because Venezuela was number 1, but now we have their oil as well. So they got the rest of their oil from Venezuela. So they already lost out with that, right? But now if Iran falls and the Ayatollah is gone and Pahlavi takes over the country and turns it into, something that's pro-Western that maybe even could be an ally of ours, think about what happens there. We now would basically force the Chinese and Russia and all these other countries that depended on these types of regimes that are no longer going to be there anymore to buy their oil. Now they got to buy it from us. Get down on your knees. Let the president unzip and get to servicing. You want our oil? This is what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to live by our rules, and we're going to dictate to the rest of the world exactly what those rules are. And you know what? We have done more to help other people and other countries and create peace than we have ever done with the power that we have. And we've never used it for negative or bad things. We've always done good things. But the days of nation building are over. And you can clearly see that with how they did Venezuela already. And now the Venezuelan people are terrified of President Trump, and they should be. Sonic weapons being used where you don't see anything, you don't hear anything, you don't smell anything, nothing. And all of a sudden, you're bleeding from your nose, from your mouth, from your eyes, and you're gone and you're dead. Those are the types of weapons. There's a big report right now on that. And we're going to continue to do those types of things because we have the technology that no other country does. But if Iran falls, Venezuela falls, the Chinese Communist Party hopefully will be next.
And I think it's epic today that Trump put out that, I would say, not a threat, a promise to Cuba to make a deal soon or you're done. Because now he's going to finally bleed them out. They're done. I mean, they've been done anyway.
Well, they were so dependent on Venezuela.
Exactly.
Everything they got, everything they needed, that Maduro regime and the Hugo Chavez regime before that were propping them up. So now that Maduro is gone and Venezuela is no longer the way that it used to be, I'm going to take my wife. You can come with us. I'm taking my wife to Cuba, and we're going to go on vacation when that regime falls. And I've already said and predicted it'll be in 2 years or less, and probably a lot less.
Yeah, I agree. And I see what's going on. Of course, Trump mind fucks everybody, and I think it's brilliant. He bombed the shit out of ISIS on Friday to Saturday morning, which I think is great. Of course, your Rand Pauls and Masseys of the world. Oh, the poor people of fuck you. I hate them. I've always hated them. Massey is like a walking embodiment of what a douche stick looks like if it was breathing. So I hate that little fuck. And sorry, but I've always hated Marjorie Taylor Greene. I always thought she was a disgusting slut whore bitch. Sorry. I know you liked her, but I hated her.
Well, you know what? Not anymore. Not after I saw the pictures of her with that pinko twat from Code Pink. And all that, and how she's been close. And who knows, maybe she even set them off and gave them the information so they showed up and protested President Trump at the restaurant in the District of Columbia, or the District of Criminals, as we used to call it and still call it to this day. And so I don't know. Look, she was a great vote for us, but in some respects, I think that she probably was someone that was compromised.
Yeah. And I never could get behind her because I always seen through her. But
if you get behind her, you might want to have a gas mask on. That's a pretty big ass.
That's a nasty, disgusting bitch. Honestly, she's just rancid. She has a face. When I think of Joe Biden with the lying dog face pony soldier, that was always insulting to dogs. And I would say that if there was an embodiment of what a lying dog face pony soldier would look like, it would be Marjorie Taylor Greene. But again, I fall back to it's insulting to dogs. I don't understand how she's cheating on her husband. Who the hell would want to have sex with that anyway? But whatever. But I think what he did with ISIS was fantastic. ISIS, aka based out of Langley, still remnants thereof. But ISIS gets theirs. He tells Cuba, make a deal or you're done, right? And then you have all these people saying Donald Trump, all the little Democrat fucks. And I'm so sick of people even like Dr. Savage, Michael Savage, who I used to respect. And now, appreciate the good work that he did. No, fuck you. You're an old fucking douche. And the only reason why you're doing what you're doing now is because Trump didn't want to bring you around. So Michael Savage, fuck you. Michael
Weiner, you mean?
Yeah. Well, that's
Michael
about
Weiner,
right.
That's his real name.
Is it?
Yeah. Michael
Weiner.
I didn't
know that.
Yeah, that's his actual real name. But look, let me say something that's going to shock you and everybody else. at this point right now in our history and what we've seen unfold in this first year under President Trump, I am thrilled. I am ecstatic. I am so happy that the election of 2020 was stolen from President Trump because he has had 4 years to plot, plan, strategize, and organize all of the different moves that he wants to make when he came back to power. And you can clearly see he has no more fucks left to give. And he's going to do whatever he can to make the world a safer, better place. And of course, make sure that America is leading it in that safer, better place. And that's clearly what's happening, right? I mean, if you look at Greenland, there are more students at the University of Ohio State University or Arizona State University or Texas A&M than the entire population of Greenland, which has 57,000 people. Ohio State has 60,000 students. So you can clearly see how tiny and small it is. And remember, we have an agreement. We don't have to buy it. We don't have to pay them off. We don't have to invade. We don't have to do anything. We have an agreement from 1951 that clearly states that we are allowed to secure the airspace, number one, and number two, build military bases. So whether we take it, whether we buy it, it doesn't matter. We can do whatever we want. I just don't, and I've said this before, I don't like the rhetoric. Why say we're going to invade or take it? Why not just look at the press and say, well, there's an agreement from 1951 that Denmark, Greenland, and the United States have all agreed upon for their security, and we will be exercising that. That's a lot better. Because look, the more that he talks about this, quote, take this and seize that, then he's feeding into the left's language of him leading up to the election, calling him Hitler and a dictator and all these other crazy things, right? So why not break that and not do that and just, say it a little bit of a different way? That was my thought on that. But again, we're going into Greenland very, very soon. And again, 80% of Greenland is under ice. Only 20% is not under ice. And under that 80% that's under ice, we're the only country that can extrapolate those rare earth minerals, from diamonds, from gold, from graphite to tungsten to who knows what the hell is underneath that ice. It's one of the most mineral rich areas in the entire world. Yep. And that's another reason why China wants to get in there. And nope, sorry, CCP, not going to happen.
I think it's fantastic. And I actually like when he plays into the talking points because the man is smart. I think he's just throwing shit at the media to fuck with him because it was funny. The first time I found out about this treaty, the agreement we had with Greenland was from your show on Thursday. I learned about that. I didn't even know that. But oddly enough, I heard that same talking point repeated by a libtard host on CNN just the other day. I was shocked. I wish after you said it to me. So it was funny hearing them have to admit that. And then, of course, the videos from Greenland of people saying they want Trump, obviously it goes without saying. But it's just funny. You're probably right. But it is funny when he throws, it's like throwing red meat at the libtards and just give them what they want. I think it's hilarious. Some say that, our what are they, America First or America Only crowd? And everybody's little favorite Fed faggot, Nick Fuentes, the Groiper Queen. He today was defending the Ayatollah, saying it's all Israel. Yeah. So this little Fed rat, what a fucking little bitch. My God.
He is a little bitch.
Oh God, man.
He is a little bitch.
And isn't it weird how he almost has the exact same voice as Ben Shapiro? I mean, and it's just,
I never really thought about that.
They do, man. They do. It's eerily similar. I'm not a fan of Ben Shapiro.
He ought to just do his show in a giant fucking white hat cone. You know what I mean? Just get it over with, bro. We know what you are. You're a fucking KKK Nazi piece of shit.
I still can't understand.
I hope he hears this.
Don't worry. The Groiper crowd will. We know they're
the Groiper crowd.
The Groiper crowd.
What bunch of incels that like to suck each other off.
Definitely. But what is a Groiper? Like that is still like out of all the dumb shit I've heard in 20 years of this shit.
It's basically a fake far-right conservative that's not a conservative that has bought into the left's bullshit of anti-Semitism and now is spewing it from the quote fake right. That's basically what it is. Yeah.
It's asinine. But when they're talking about Trump is creating a North American Union, what everybody warned about, you know what? I'm down with Trump's version of an NAU. Just like he basically let it be known that Mexico, like, we're going to come for your cartels, whether you like it or not. I love it. This is not the days of the Alamo, okay? Things have changed. And you look at what's left on the map for South America. What? We have Colombia, who he wants to make a deal now, of course. He's going to come to the White House, right? So he still needs to go too. But Colombia, Cuba, Mexico, Brazil's still fucked up because
Brazil is definitely Brazil is a problem.
But I think that,
but again, with the tariffs, as long as the Supreme Court does the right thing, we can squeeze all of these, commie leaders completely and just make them bend to our will. And I think that's what we'll end up doing.
Yeah. And Canada, one day.
I don't want Canada. I know he likes to say Canada should be on. I don't want 38 million fucking libtard idiots voting in our elections. What, are you kidding me? I wish you would shut up about that if you want to know the truth. I don't want Canada at all.
I know. It would be funny. Like, you tell Canada you have until noon to give up, surrender. And then if they say nothing or do nothing, then by 12:01, when we take over and we conquer their country because they're a fucking joke. I mean, we could do a lot with it, but I know the problem is the people. Now, I was lucky enough when I lived in, fucktard, the end of the world there up in Maine. There's some good people there. It's a beautiful state with some good people, but a lot of asshole people.
Lewiston's got its problem with the Somalis too.
Listen, Maine is a shithole, all right? It's a beautiful state that's been ruined by the libtards, and as I've said, and we'll go into one day, Maine is actually probably the heart of the deep state that nobody knows about and nobody talks about. You want to talk about the state that is leading the world, not the world, the country in child trafficking, drug trafficking, it's freaking Maine. And it all started with George H.W. Bush. And it's gone on for all those decades now. Believe me, there's a lot more to come out there, and there's a lot more people are going to see. But even in my part, 5.5 hours north of Lewiston, where I lived, the only good part was crossing the border into Canada. And everybody wanted to become American. They all loved America. Yeah. My side of the border, we had some good people, but a lot of French libtards, which made no sense to me. But talk about a confused people. But even up there in no man's land, so much trafficking going on, so many murders, so many everything.
Crazy.
Even the fucking moose leave. Anyway, so I think what's happening is brilliant. I want it all. I don't care. Well, and that's why they said something about, Putin, he kind of threw a bone towards Trump, and he goes, he understands what Trump is doing, and he tips his hat to him. Of course he does.
Well, because he's afraid of him. Let's face it. I mean,
absolutely.
All of these world leaders are afraid of him.
Yes.
And fear is a good thing, but it also can be a bad thing. And that's why I worry, because if he's going to be traveling and going to these different summits and G7, G8, all these different places, I worry when he's not on American soil, if, one of these, leaders from one of these other countries wants to take a shot at him. I mean, That's what I'm more worried about. So I kind of want him to kind of use a little bit more diplomacy, but still do the same things he's doing. It's just the wording of the things. I don't want him to scare all of these countries around the world that, oh my God, we have this madman dictator. Because again, remember, every single country pretty much in the world has left-leaning communist Pravda type media, right?
Yeah.
And so the people are brainwashed into watching a lot of that horrible media. And that's the last thing we need, is for all of these people and all of these countries around the world to do that. So that's all. I mean, I want him to stay in the White House and in a bunker somewhere and just do everything from there and not even go out anymore. Like, just stay there. We need you for the next 3 years,
Dude, listen, I never thought I would say this in my life, but 2028, Vance, and even if it is a Rubio, I can't even believe those words are coming out of my mouth, because years ago, Marco Rubio, the only thing that came with that name was a fuck before it. And now Marco Rubio is probably, in my opinion, probably the best Secretary of State, plus all 97 other roles. He's amazing.
The best, the absolute best. And here's the thing. That is an unbeatable ticket.
Yes.
Vance Rubio, forget it. You can't. There's no one that's going to compete against that. No one.
Absolutely unstoppable. JD coming out, showing the balls. I love it. I mean, such night and day contrast to what Pence was. So it's refreshing to see. I mean, dude, it's just, it blows my freaking mind. But anyway, All right. So where do we go to next? You pick a topic. What's our timing? We're actually being good, people.
We got about 24 minutes left. So,
24 minutes. Okay.
I mean, I think that what's happening right now with all of these different things that are going on as far as these investigations. You've got now Jerome Powell is now finally under criminal investigation. That just broke about an hour ago.
Yes.
I've been talking about this for the longest time. I wanted President Trump. I suggested it back in April of 2025. I said, why don't you appoint a shadow Federal Reserve chairman? We can't fire the guy, right? It's almost impossible to fire him. But why not undermine everything he does, everything he says, make his job so absolutely impatible and just completely uncomfortable that he would have resigned a long time ago. And, he didn't do that for whatever reason. But I also suggested months ago, too, that he ought to indict him to get him to be under the control and start lowering those rates. And who knows, maybe in the next meeting, we might see a 0.5, 0.75 deduction because this guy's under investigation now.
It's brilliant. I mean, I love seeing him fall. And all right, completely off subject, but kind of on the same subject. One, I love the idea of an assistant attorney general that reports only to the White House. I love it.
Yes, how awesome is that?
I love it. And the left has nothing to say about it. They don't have a
nope.
damn thing.
Nor does Congress, nor does the Senate. Because remember, when you do a special counsel the old way, what happens is you have a panel, like a committee, right? And you usually, whoever has control, there's one extra member. So maybe it's like 10-9, 10 Republicans, 9 Democrats. And then they get to vote on the scope of what that special counsel is allowed to look at.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
No more. Absolutely no. Now, this person doesn't report to Pam Bondi, reports to J.D. Vance, and J.D. Vance reports to President Trump. That's the way it should be.
I love it so damn hard. I think that I said it on your show. We talked about it on Politishock, and I've told everybody, even the skeptic black pill pussies, I said, listen, July 4th, 2026 has symbolism. Now you're starting to see other people in his administration even saying it. Trump is looking to get a certain amount of things accomplished. Oh, it's because of the midterms. No, because 250 is a big deal for President Trump. It has
250 is a big deal for everyone, if you think about it.
Yes.
Most quote-unquote
empires,
democracies, which we're not, so most republics, right, they only last 200 to 250 years. If you look at Alexander Tytler, which I put in the book in the introduction of Preserving Liberty, and I talk about how usually around that 250 mark, once the people understand and the government understands that they can just keep taking money from the people and the largesse, that eventually the empire or whatever it might be falls, right?
Yep.
And so we're at that precipice, we're at that cusp, and we're actually going to move past that, which is amazing.
It's so badass, but we're going to see so many things start happening in fast track, right? And people could say it's a play to whatever. We could talk about Q. We could talk about Anonymous. We could talk about all these wonderful things. But listen, there's no denying that one of my most favorite accounts on X right now is the Department of Labor.
Yeah.
I mean, do you
plan?
Oh my God, dude.
I saw that and I thought of Q immediately. I did.
How could you not? And then they even put out one where we go one ... I mean, like, it's just, they're going out. I mean, it's
interesting, isn't it?
It is.
Never would any administration, not even the prior Trump administration, would have done anything like that in the past. So that is interesting. I guess what it is it's trying to tell MAGA and the conservatives and the patriots out there that, hey, hold on, just watch, get your popcorn ready. Don't say this, don't say that. Just be patient, right? And I've said this before. If we're not patient, then we're going to vote ourselves right into communism.
Yep. Because
we've got to make sure that our base and our supporters and the patriots understand that this is a huge plan to reorganize the world order in our favor. And people need to understand that. These morons with their nose rings and their purple hair, they want to sit there and complain and scream at ICE. That's fine. We've got to make sure that we understand what is at stake here. And what is at stake is the future of this country. And we are getting to a point where we are blowing out all the bullshit around the world. And think about it, a lot of people say, well, let's concentrate here. Okay, I understand that. But if you concentrate here and you do a hell of a job, a stand-up job, a bang-up job, and you're doing wonderful, the economy's humming, but you've left Venezuela, and you've left Cuba, and you've left Iran, and you left all these things. So when President Trump's out of office and someone else comes in, those people are still there, whether our economy is good or not. So I actually like this approach of clearing out the rat's nest of shit around the world and making the rest of the world, including the United States, safer and more secure as we're eliminating potential future threats. Then we can concentrate more on domestic policy here at home. And I think what the Labor Department is trying to tell us, subliminally, if you will, is hold on, there's a plan, and don't panic.
Yeah. And it's playing out. I mean, it is undeniable what we're seeing now and how it's all falling together. And they keep playing this line back from Trump's interview from like 2-3 months ago on Real America's Voice, whatever the hell it is, where Trump said that it's all going to fall, it's all going to be exposed, and the people will be ready. They'll be ready for it. And that's never been so prevalent as right now, because I think it's a masterstroke, because this is his grand finale at the end of the day. Yes. Right. So I wish I want Trump 2028. I want Trump 2032, whatever. But he knows that his end is coming. And he also knows that he does not give a flying fuck, and he's going to see it through. And even he has said what you said about he's happy that 2020 happened, because that's going to be
he's had 4 years to plan this out.
Yep.
And remember, this is a Wharton School of Business graduate, University of Pennsylvania, the best business school in the entire world. Yep. And this is a graduate of that. And he's president of the United States. And yes, he knows the election was stolen from him. And hopefully they're going to get through the 2020 election and hold these people accountable. But the best part about that stolen election is what is happening right now.
Amen.
And I think that in and of itself was worth it.
I couldn't agree more. It was worth the 4 years of the pedophile in chief. So, fuck it. It's
the
brilliant.
Pants shitter dribbling doofus.
Yeah. Oh yeah, what a good guy.
Yeah, what a good guy. No malarkey, except for the pound of malarkey in your shorts.
Ugh, disgusting freak-tard that he is.
Remember that one video of him where he like walks into a business or something and like part of his like diaper comes out and there's like shit like coming out? I was like, oh my God, it is true. He is shitting himself.
Sorry.
Gross.
Yeah, he's a special breed there. My camera decided to go crazy on me. It didn't want to look at me anymore. But dude, it's hilarious. That fucking piece of shit. I want to see him. Like, I don't care. As far as I want firing squads. All right. I am that person, but I'm also not I want justice January 21st. And if it didn't happen, Trump betrayed us. These fucking people, if I have to follow the logic of some of these idiots. So I had a pretty shitty week in the beginning of this past week, right? So obviously what happened, it wasn't because it was just, a design by God pushing me in a different direction. No, it was obviously the work of Donald Trump betraying me and Israel. So whenever I have something go wrong, I know it's because Trump betrayed me, Israel did it. So I got to keep reminding myself of that, and I feel better, okay? Anyway.
Yeah, if you're a groiper piece of shit, sure.
Yeah, if you're a groiper faggot. What else? Let's see. There's so many things. I'm not used to.
There's a million things going on right now. Literally.
I know. See,
there's so many things going on.
And
this is what I like. I don't like to actually have a set of things that we're going to talk about. I like to just wing it. I've always been like that. It's just easier. Let's see what's going on here. U-Haul driver rams through protesters in Los Angeles. That's breaking right now.
Love it. Run them all over. If they're on the road.
James Comer says that Ilhan Noor Saeed Elmi is at the top of the suspect list in massive Somalia fraud scandal. Ethics complaints incoming, claims her brother husband profited, as well as some others. So, yeah, look, I want to see Ilhan go down so bad. I can't wait for her to be arrested. She has cost me potentially probably $100,000 to $200,000, maybe even $1 million in my career, because the trajectory was going up and because of what happened with her. So I'm going to dance on her political grave. I'm telling you, I'm absolutely going to do that. I want to see her go down so quick.
she put out that message about she's very upset that she didn't get to go inside a ICE detention center,
Yeah.
whatever. So we all kind
She
of
should be locked in it and
exactly,
deported and denaturalized.
exactly.
Yeah.
But as far as I'm concerned, she should still be tried for treason because she's another one conspiring against the United States of America as an elected official.
Absolutely, she is.
So charge her and do what needs to be done. Let justice find her, if you will, because she's a rancid freaking cunt. I hate her.
She
hate
is
her with a passion. And just so people around the world are aware, we're trying to be on time with certain things. We have nothing pre-planned here, which is the brilliance of it, because both of us are the same way. We don't pre-plan our shit, but we're trying to make it short and impactful. So there you go.
Speaking of Epstein, apparently they brought in the child rapist and pedophile that I think his name is Leslie something, that ran Victoria's Secrets.
Yeah.
And he's trying to say, I didn't know about Epstein's crimes because I am gay. Disgraced former British ambassador, this is somebody else, to the United States, Lord Peter Mandelson, uses the gay card to try to evade responsibility. Wow. So because you like to putt from the rough,
yeah.
So apparently you couldn't have been on the jet? I don't understand that. It doesn't make any sense. If you think that Epstein and the rest of these idiots were completely straight, I don't think that's the case at all.
No.
I think that they were so sexually depraved that sex or whatever orientation didn't matter to them.
No, not at all. It was little boys, little girls. It was everything in between. So no, They're all a bunch of sick fucks. So they'll try to use anything they possibly can to, feign ignorance and get. This is what I mean. The hammer of justice, right? I want to see these people go down in a way that isn't just, okay, they deserve to be tried and given a fair trial, blah, 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 blah. There, I said all my bullshit, okay? That's the color of the law. I want to see them executed, or I want to see them beat to death in a federal facility. Either or, I don't care. These people you cannot facilitate, you cannot rehabilitate a pedophile. There's no forgiveness for pedophiles. The only forgiveness is a bullet, okay? I don't care what anybody says.
That or castration.
Well, castration first and then shoot them inevitably.
Mm-hmm.
I want them all dead. Rapists, child molesters, all of them, kill them. Kill them. And
I don't know if you saw this, but I dropped this on X a couple of weeks ago and actually covered this story years ago. In 1972, at the Democrat National Convention, when McGovern was their losing candidate, the platform at that time literally called for pedophilia to be a sexual orientation. So this bullshit about LGBTQ and this and that you don't believe in the P, that is garbage. They absolutely believe in the P because it was in the DNC's convention in 1972. I've covered that, throughout the years. So again, you have this thing called MAPS, minor attracted persons, that what they're trying to do is that fucking kids, they want to make that legal. They want you to say, well, wait a minute, if I want to bang a 9-year-old girl or a little boy, I should be able to because that's my orientation. I'm attracted to these people. No, those are the people that need to be castrated and then have their dick shoved in their mouth and then executed.
I agree. Publicly. If you want, bring in some money for the government.
By the parents.
Yes.
That they victimized.
Absolutely. And I think President Trump could turn it into a monetization event for America. A modern day of streaming.
Raise money on it.
Exactly. Fuck it. Kill them all. Because it's the only thing that deserves to happen. These people are obsessed with it. They are obsessed with corruption of the children. It goes back further then, but goes back to errors and the Capitol bombing. And what did he say then? In the late 60s, I believe it was, that obviously this brand of protesting isn't going to work. Protesting, bombing the Capitol building, right? But what a hero he is. He said, we have to try a different tact. So if we get them young, whether it takes 10 years, 100 years, whatever, if we get them young, then we have them for life. They have been obsessed with it. They have been focused on it, and they've done a damn good job of corrupting and co-opting the schools, everything else to teach you disgusting, sick perversion bullshit.
Yeah.
And, denial of God, break up the nuclear family, all this bullshit. This is what they like. This is what they thrive in. And this has been in.
And that's why they support Hamas. That's why they support Islam. That's why they support Iran, because they're the ones that take on child brides, right?
Of course.
These are the ones that do all these sick things to children and everything else, right? So they're kind of like synergistic with each other.
No, of course. They feel in line with each other because it's all the same, because they're obsessed with fucking children. And it's
disgusting.
It is disgusting, and I don't care what anybody says.
There's nothing worse than harming a child or the elderly, really, in my opinion. And I've said that for years.
Death. Fucking death. I don't care. All right, yeah, you're gonna start getting me going into a rant here, Josh. I gotta.
It's all right. We got 9 minutes or so here.
9 minutes. Okay, let me ask you something here. All right, what are your thoughts on the current state? Now, again, me being me with Voice of the People USA Radio and Television Network, obviously, for those who are watching, I know there are people watching right now. You're seeing us all over the world, and we're independent, right? So, for us, this is brilliant because we've been doing this for so long. And I said, let them all cannibalize each other, because in the end, people are going to get sick of that bullshit and go back to the OGs, right? They're going to go back to people who haven't fucking bullshitted them and haven't profited off of people's fucking fears and their fucking anger and make money off it and betray them. So with that, what are your thoughts on all these fuckers that are being exposed and outed? And I think that was part of the plan too. I really do. But how do you feel about everything we're seeing? I mean, unless you're not allowed to talk because you were at Fort Huachuca and you were given, the Zodiac killer's son said that you're not allowed to speak on that.
The third sacrifice of the moon. No, look, I look at it this way, man. There's two things that make me and people like you and many others that have been doing it a long time, what stands out, regardless of whether we're censored, whether we're banned, whether we're thrown off, it doesn't matter. Consistency is number one, always will be, and truthfulness and speaking the truth. If you speak the truth and you're consistent, and the thing is like my audience, a lot of times they'll call me Jostradamus because I'll say something and then 6 months later it'll happen, or 3 months later, or a year later, or whatever it is. And it's not like I know it's going to happen. I just predict it because I understand trends. I understand how things work, right? And I've studied this for so many years. And just like I do, if you study this all the time, like a daily basis, every single day, and you do this for many, many years, you become like, a doctorate in political science, right? I mean, you pretty much have to. If you're going to get up there in front of the camera, you've got to know everything. You can't just talk about a few things and not a few things about this, and I don't really know much about that. The only thing I will admit that I don't know a ton about, and I don't really get into too much, is religion. I kind of stick to the political type of things. That's my animal. That's what I'm good at. And again, when you look at that, it's consistency. And a lot of times, things that I've said throughout the years, people will say, yeah, he's consistent. I don't change my message. I keep it the same. The stories change, obviously, throughout the years, but my take on the stories never does. And I think that whether you're banned, whether you're censored, whether you're shadow bound, whatever it might be, people will find you and they'll seek out the truth and consistency.
That's brilliant, because that's how I always feel too. Every time I've had somebody say to me, "Oh, you were right. You were right." No, it's not. It's never. We've discussed this. It's never about being right. It's about, we're trying to warn you.
We don't want to be right.
No,
because if we're right, that means that we've predicted something that happened that's bad.
Exactly. And that's not a good thing,
Right.
So that's the thing, right? And integrity is key. So again, people are like, well, how come you haven't been sued? Yeah, I've been banned by everybody. Like I said, I started with MySpace, so fuck all you pussies. But Tom wasn't my friend. But nevertheless, it's like, you know what? Why haven't you been sued? Because I bring on discovery, baby. Please. I'm saying shit. I'm saying shit at a high level. Yeah, there's a lot.
You haven't been sued because what you've said has been truthful.
Exactly.
If you get up there and spew bullshit, you are going to be sued.
Exactly.
Right? Perfect example. Whether I'll say that, whether it has a dick or not, Macron's supposed wife.
Yeah.
If it does not, then Candace is in big, big trouble. Okay. And she's going to be in a lot of trouble because she really went out there And I think she even said as part of her deposition that she's going to force it to pull its pants down and show the goods to prove that it doesn't have a dick. So I don't know if it doesn't have a dick, then she's in trouble big time. And
Yeah.
that's how you get sued. When you do stupid shit like that, when you know that you can't actually prove something and you get up in front of the camera and you say something like that, that's when you get in trouble.
Yeah. Amen. And that's why people ask me all the time, well, what do you think about this? I don't care. I don't care, because people like you and I, we're doing our thing. We're looking past, we're looking at the bigger picture. We're looking at still doing what we do, putting truth out there, but we're focused towards what's to come and how the fuck do we get there and finding a way to get there no matter what. To be wrapped up in the now and the bullshit and the infighting, fuck that. Why should we? We were around before all this crap even began. We don't have to be. We're not trying to prove ourselves to anybody. All right. Obviously, we were over the target because we did get freaking taken down by everybody. That's all you need to know. That's it.
Yeah.
Bottom line. So these other fuckers all fight with each other. Tucker fight with this one, Bannon and Shapiro. And I don't care. These are all names of, I go back to saying, where were you when it really mattered? Where were you in 2012? Where were you in 2010? Where were you in 2006 when I was out there getting death threatened every day? Where were you? You were nowhere to be found. These are frauds. Last question I'm going to ask you. Thoughts on Dan Bongino?
Dan Bongino is going to go back to doing his show, but as I've already said on numerous occasions, he will not be the same Dan Bongino. He can't be the same Dan Bongino because he's been inside the government and he has seen too much. He knows where the bodies are buried. He's probably been death threatened so that when he's left the FBI, if you say this or this, your wife and your children and everything else, and probably you, are going to be taken out. So he's not going to be the same Dan Bongino as far as doing his show. He's going to be more coy. He's going to be more careful. He's going to touch on things that he can only touch on. And then he'll say things like, I can't cover that. I can't talk about this. I guarantee you, because I've seen this before, when someone's in the government and then they come back out to public life and they get back out on the air, they're never, ever the same.
Yeah. And it's interesting that he's targeting all the grifters and the black pillars and said that he's going to go after every single one of them and call Matt Gaetz a dick. I did enjoy that personally, but I think it's interesting to see just the next level of the soap opera drama, if you will. But yeah, good points. All right, look at this. I'm keeping the time here. We're
doing good.
We are doing good.
We're doing good.
This is a first. Usually an hour is like my warm-up, my rant. Anyway, but
it makes it impossible to download and put the show up and everything else. It took like 4 hours last time because we went like 2.5 hours, which is great. But neither one of us have the money and the capabilities to do what Joe Rogan does and probably download a 4-hour show in 3 minutes or whatever. So we're still stuck, doing the other shit because those guys aren't censored, right? So they can do things. Look, I've said this a lot. There's a lot of people out there that are much bigger than us. And the reason they're much bigger than us is because they did what they had to do. They sucked the right, what? They kissed the right, what? And guess what? A lot of them are controlled opposition. So in other words, they'll say something just enough and then they'll pull back because their sponsors are saying, hey, you can't say that here anymore, right? Yep. And we don't have that. We are the rage of Aquarius. We are going to be raging against anything and everyone that is an injustice. And that is exactly what I want to continue to do.
Fuck yes, man. I love it. Love it. See, you're good at this shit. You're like a pro, Josh. I'm not going to give the tagline yet.
Enough.
We're going to do the tagline for next week. I'm not getting.
Yeah, we'll save the tagline, but the tagline is good.
That was really fucking
good. The tagline is good.
Hell yeah. All right. So with that, everybody, Josh, thank you, brother. As always, it's an honor. I appreciate it. And to everybody listening live right now, thank you. Next time, engage in the chat, you selfless fucking pricks. Like, come on. You could actually like you can get involved. You could ask questions.
I always say this to my audience. My voice might be important, but that doesn't mean that your voices are not. That's why I take the time to answer every comment every single day. I've been doing it for over 10 years. Even when I was not censored and I had millions and millions of views, I would still spend hours just hearting, just so people would know that your voice is important and that we're all on the same team, and quite frankly, we're all in the same foxhole.
Yep.
We're all fighting for the same thing, which is a better America, and we will never stop.
Amen, brother. I agree. So you hear that, people? But that's okay. We're gonna have the live phone lines open up again soon. So
And check out the Substack, jbushow.substack.com. Check
right
it out.
there.
Become a member. I do a show 7 to 10 days a week. If you become a paid member and you do a year, you pay it, it's $49 for the entire year. You get 7 to 10 shows a week. You get full access to me on Thursdays, and you get a $13 value of my book, which is Preserving Liberty. You get a digital copy of that for free. We don't sell dick pills. We don't sell anything. We don't got commercials that get in the way of the content. It is pure content all the time. The only thing missing from that offer is the gun, the ski mask, and the getaway car.
That's awesome. Spot on, brother. And everybody else, VOPUSARadio.com. Download the app. We're on the Apple. We're on the Android. All that other bullshit. Find us on Roku, Fire, all that other. They don't want us there anyway. Subscribe. It's free. Give us your email. Watch the shit. Spread the word, because you got a lot more content coming, a lot more content launching soon. And everybody else, you know where to see Josh. I will see you again this Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, because I'll be back with Political Shot. God help you all. Love you.
God bless.
God bless.
Is in the seventh house, and Jupiter aligned with Mars. That peace will guide the planets, and love will steal the stars. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. The Rage of Aquarius with your hosts Dan Smeriglio and Josh Bernstein.